Oh, there I am. I always forget to add myself to the stage. Good evening, everyone. Hope everybody is doing well tonight. This is kind of an impromptu live stream because I knew I wouldn't be able to watch tonight's ball game because I don't have a Peacock. So I can't watch the Chiefs game, so I knew I'd be bored. So I just scheduled it live. If you're new here, if this is your first time here or watching the replay, welcome to Southern Gal True Crime. I share missing persons, cold cases, current true crime in the news, and more. And if those are things that you are interested in, please consider subscribing while you're here. Like, share, comment, all those things help small channels like mine reach more people. And that is the whole goal of my channel, is to reach as many people as possible to make awareness of these cases that I present. They reach more people because I share mostly the lesser known cases that you don't hear about in the national news, missing persons, cold cases, but those cases are just as important as the bigger cases. All victims, of course, no matter how big or small the case is, are important. And I just want to bring as much awareness as I can to as many cases and missing persons as possible. You can also, you can find me on Facebook. I have a Facebook group and a Facebook page also called Southern Gal True Crime. And I share things there that I don't put on YouTube, so it's worth checking out. So just go to Facebook and just search Southern Gals True Crime, and they both should pop up for you. All right, with that business taken care of, we'll see what we got going on. Hey, Michigan Wifey, how you doing, dear? I'm glad to see you here. I was a little bit worried about you. I hadn't seen you in a while, except for in Chris's chat the other night. I was glad to see you. Thanks for joining me. Like I said, this was a last-minute thing because I knew I wouldn't be able to watch the Chiefs game tonight because it's only streaming on Peacock, and I don't have Peacock. But I do have the notification for my NFL app set on my phone, so and I hope my cell service isn't crapping out on me. So if I disappear, it's my cell service, and I apologize. Or if the sound goes in and out, I apologize. Once again, I have Verizon, and it's not always the most reliable. So tonight we're just I had planned to look at the top 8 states with the most serial offenders. And I came across this article a while ago, just searching for content. And I kind of put it to the side. I might have done a short video of it very early on when I first started my channel, but thought I'd pull it back out with some viewers if we have some more that come in, or anybody that watches on replay. because it was I read through it. It's very interesting. Some of the states that are on the list, I found that surprised me a little bit. So anybody in here want to make any guesses on what states are going to be in there or what states are going to be number one? Michigan Wifey says, I'm sorry, I try to stay up to catch you. I usually fall asleep or fail. I may myself stay up tonight. Yeah, well, you don't have to stay up. You don't have to stay up past your bedtime. It's about past my bedtime, too. But I appreciate it, Michigan Wifey. I'm probably going to be getting lots of sleep here starting tomorrow because we have down here in Arkansas, we have now been upgraded to a winter storm warning. And let's say we are supposed to get 3 to 6 inches of snow. So down here in Arkansas, that people are preparing for the apocalypse. I just don't understand it. So they have to go out and get their bread, milk, and toilet paper so they can make their bread, milk sandwiches. I guess I don't know. I've never understood that. But anyway, so I'll probably be stuck in the house for 3 or 4 days because the temperature is not going to get above freezing after all this mess comes in. It's supposed to start sometime tomorrow afternoon. And the temperature or the wind chill is going to be like 15 below, which down here in Arkansas, that is like North Pole conditions for us because we're used to the heat and the humidity. But anyway, so I'll be stuck in the house probably for 3 or 4 days. So I'll probably sleep a lot or find something on a TV or my DVR to binge watch. Michigan Wifey says my internet keeps going out too. Yeah, so far I haven't had problems with my internet, but now depending on I have Dish, and when it rains, sometimes 2 raindrops will come and then it'll go out. But depending on how heavy it snows tomorrow, it may go in or in and out. But if it does go out, I think my DVR is 94% full right now, so I've really got to get busy binge watching some stuff. So anyway, once again I'm babbling. I lost track of what I was talking about. You're getting snow right now. Yeah, I think and I watch I'm a weather geek too, so I watch the Weather Channel a lot, and they say this is a pretty bad one. It's going to affect most all of the United States. So everybody, so it's bad. We're going to be worse than usual when we're going to get maybe 3 to 6 inches of snow down here in Arkansas. So just everybody, I hope everybody is staying in and staying warm and staying safe. If you don't have to get out in it, don't get out in it. Of course, y'all people up north know how to drive in it. People down here don't. If there's not a lot of snow, I can drive in it. I do not drive on ice. Tried that a couple of times and it ended up in the ditch. So I don't do that anymore. I don't do the ice anymore. But anyway, like I said, I have this top 8 states with the most serial killers playing. But if it turns into a free for all, anybody who's here who may come in, want anything you want to talk about, it can just be an open chat. Like I said, this was a last minute thing. Something to keep me occupied. I have the house to myself right now. Well, the cat's out there somewhere. I had to kick him out of the room because he was mad because I stole his chair that he sleeps in. So I had to kick him out and close the door. He'll get over it though. If he wants to get fed and watered, he'll get over it. No, I love my cat. I'm not mean to my cat most of the time. He's mean to me, but I'm not mean to him. All right, so before I babble on too much, we got a few little things I want to talk about really quickly before we get into this list. So let me get my slides going. And I don't know if you've seen my let me make this full screen for a minute so I can read it. My new disclaimers I'm using for all my live streams. Me talking to the imaginary audience that's watching my live. What you're about to watch is a nightmare. Meaning, at any point, my live stream could turn into a hot mess or a dumpster fire. Because inevitably, during my live stream, I have 1 to 10 catastrophes. I'll go into the upside down or to the twilight zone, or I'll knock my camera over, which is my phone, on a phone stand. So hopefully nothing like that will happen tonight, but I'm not going to promise anything, or I'll knock my drink over. Anyway, so that is my new disclaimer. So let me know what y'all think of my disclaimer. First, as always, the most important thing, I always feature current missing persons at the beginning of all my videos and my live streams. So I have a few tonight. The first one is William Anderson. He went missing from Paragould, Arkansas. And there's something, I don't know what's going on in Paragould, Arkansas. And this, by the way, this information comes from the Morgan Nick Foundation Facebook page. A lot of teenagers have gone missing, or more likely, maybe possibly been running away in Paragould, because it seems like because I go to the Facebook page just about every day, scroll through to look, for who I'm going to feature on my video or my live, or to keep up with missing persons that I featured in the past, and hoping, looking for updates to see if they've been found, or what's going on. But just about every teenager that I've come across is gone missing from Paragould. So I don't know what's going on, but it is very very scary, very disturbing. But anyway, tonight, like I said, is William Anderson. Disappeared from Paragould on December 30th of 2023. He's just 16 years old. White male, 5'4", 155 pounds, with the brown hair and the hazel eyes. So if you have any information, if you're in the Arkansas area or not, because when kids run away, sometimes it's not, if he is a runaway, it's not unusual to travel to different states. But if you have any information, please contact the Paragould Police Department at 870-236-7621. Next, we have Hannah Ammons. She went missing from Hot Springs, Arkansas. And I've also noticed there are a lot that go missing from or run away from Hot Springs, too. Anyway, she went missing on January 4th, so just a little over a week ago. She is only 14 years old, white female, 5'6", 147 pounds, with brown hair and brown eyes. It says she was last seen wearing blue jeans with flower print on pockets, and either purple Crocs or brown house shoes. So if you have any information, you can contact the Hot Springs Police Department at 501-321-6789. And we also have, I wanted to include this silver alert that we had. Rodger Patterson. He is missing from Texarkana, Arkansas, which is down southwest part of, right on the, obviously, Texas and Arkansas line. So people in Arkansas and Texas, please be aware, pay attention. He is 66 years old, white male, 6 foot, 155 pounds, with gray hair and brown eyes. And there is a good amount of information. He was last seen in Texarkana, Arkansas, on the Arkansas side, near Interstate 49 and State Highway 237. He may have a yellow coat or brown hoodie in the vehicle, but he was last seen wearing a black leather jacket, marine vet ball cap, and either gray sweats or jeans. He may be also in a 2004 white Ford Explorer Sport Track truck with the Arkansas license plate 591YM. I think that is. So I can't read let me go back to the other slide. Oh goodness, now I got them all out of whack. There's the one I want with the number. So if you're down in the Texarkana area, Texas, Arkansas border, if you have any information about Mr. Patterson's whereabouts, please contact the Miller County Sheriff's Office at 870-774-3001. So those are our missing, current missing person, featured missing persons, two teenagers, and a silver alert. So please, I will put the links after the stream ends. I will put the links in the comment section, and then when YouTube lets me edit the actual live stream, I will put it in the description box. And all this information comes from the Morgan Nick Foundation Facebook page. So I encourage you, please. That is a really good resource for looking up missing persons information. They don't just feature, it is based in Arkansas, but they don't feature just Arkansas missing. They feature anywhere and everywhere across the United States. So it's a really good resource for getting missing persons information. All right, I did that. One more thing I wanted to touch on. I don't know, some of you may have heard of the Amber Crumb case earlier. About, it was, I think, 5 o'clock here Central Time, US time. Ruckus Rocks, and if you've never watched Ruckus Rocks channel, he is fabulous. You can find, go to the homepage of my channel, scroll down to where it says please visit our friends. His link is there. He is former law enforcement. He works a lot with Mr. Steve from True Crime Web. His live tonight, and I watched it. It was fabulous. He had Larry Crumb, who is little Amber's father, was interviewing him or talking with him about some developments in the case and things that are coming up. I think on my community page, I shared it, so you can go to my community page if you want to be easy to find. Lots of good information. Mr. Steve from True Crime Web, Chris from the Mob Crew, Carolyn from Unearthed Secrets, and a whole team of other people behind the scenes have done a lot of work on this case. They've gone out to Texas to help try to find the remains of little Amber. And if you're not familiar with this case, you can see on the screen, it just gives the basic information, but there is a whole lot more to it. She went missing on December 20, supposedly went missing, allegedly went missing on December 26, 1983. She was just 2 years old at the time. Apparently her mother's boyfriend, and remember, this is in the middle of the winter, and eventually I'm going to do a video on this to help bring more awareness to this case. Apparently her mother's boyfriend decided in Texas in wintertime, 40-degree below weather, to run up to the grocery store. At least this was his story, to grab some stuff. He took a two-year-old little Amber with him. He left her in the truck. He says no more than 5 minutes, he came back out and she was gone. Of course, if any of you know the story or know of this case, that allegedly is not what really happened. But I encourage you, Mr. Steve, once again from True Crime Web, has covered this extensively. I think Chris from the Mom Crew and Ruckus Rocks are all, so go to any of their channels, look at their playlist, and you can get all the information you need about Amber Crumb. It is such a sad case. Just listening to Mr. Larry, Amber's father, talking tonight on the live that Ruckus had, it's such a heartbreaking case. But hopefully good things are going to happen soon. The major announcement they had was that at some point CBS is going to do I think they said a four-part documentary to cover this case. Now, I don't know. I'm hoping it's going to be televised nationally, but I don't know. It may just be locally. But either way, anything that can bring more awareness to this case will be a good thing. All right. I think I can go back out because I don't think I have to read anything. Miss Ray is here. Good to have you, hun. Hello again. Ready to binge watch? Cold night. Sister says it is 5 degrees in Newport Lake, Washington. Not much warmer in Colorado. Yeah, apparently it is cold everywhere. Like I said, if it's going to snow, supposedly 3 to 6 inches down here in Arkansas, it's cold and something big is happening. So we've battened down the hatches here, and I've got plenty of I didn't go out and buy my bread and milk or toilet paper. We're always stocked up on toilet paper. I do have stuff to make sandwiches with, some lunch meat and bread and some chips and plenty of tea and Coke. All the good stuff that's not good for me that that I can munch on while I'm stuck in the house for maybe 3 or 4 days. But we're all good here. I hope everybody will be good wherever you are in the United States or around the world. I know Michigan Wifey, of course, is in Michigan. Ryu is in Colorado. Just seeing if anybody, other people are going to come in. Like I said, anybody watching live or replay, if it's your first time here, please consider subscribing. Like, share, comment. Like I said earlier at the beginning, all that stuff helps small channels like mine reach more people to bring more awareness to the missing persons and cold cases that I share. All right, are we ready to get into these top 8 states with the most serial offenders? Anybody here have any guesses on what states are going to be included or what state might be number 1? Like I said, when I was reading through this article, there were some states on there that surprised me. Now, the top state didn't really surprise me too much, but there were a couple of states in there that I was like, didn't really think about that. But it is interesting nonetheless, and I hope you guys will find it interesting as well. All right, we will get started. So, number 8, let me make sure I'm on the right place on my computer. Number 8 is Pennsylvania. Does that surprise anybody? Didn't really surprise me a whole lot because up in that area, we've had a lot of pretty big cases up that way in the last few years. So Pennsylvania is in 8th place. They have 5 known serial offenders responsible for 462 victims. Pennsylvania's most well-known serial offender is Harvey Miguel Robinson. He is known as being one of the youngest serial offenders reported in the U.S. He was just 18. He went on a violent spree during which he took the lives of 3 young women and seriously injured 2. One of Robinson's surviving victims led to his eventual arrest. After the victim escaped his evil grasp, they say, the police used her as to bait Robinson. They managed to shoot him before he fled to a hospital. He was arrested, and he is currently on got the DP and in one of the Pennsylvania prisons. Other notorious serial offenders in Pennsylvania are the House of Horrors offender Gary Heidnik, Harrison Graham, and Mark Spots. Now, I had not heard a whole lot about any of the offenders that they mentioned here. If any of you watching or now in chat or in replay, if any of you guys have heard of any of these, Harvey Miguel Robinson, Gary Heidnik, that name is a little bit familiar. Harrison Graham and Mark Spots. So if any of you out there watching or replay, you can leave it in the comment. Let me know about some of these offenders. I'll have to do some more research and look them up. All right. See if I can do I'm trying to get used to doing the stylus with I'm left-handed. I'm trying to get used to doing the stylus with my right hand, because when I do it with my left hand, it goes across the camera, and that bothers me for some reason. Number 7, which did surprise me, is Louisiana. Does that surprise anybody here? It surprised me, but it also very disturbing when you find out that basically one person makes most of the victim count for Louisiana. So Louisiana has 6 known serial offenders who were responsible for 344 victims. Samuel Little, who I definitely know about. If you've never looked into Samuel Little, um, definitely look into him. He's very, very, very evil. So Samuel Little is known by many to be the most prolific offender in American history. He confessed to 93 homicides. Now, that's not unusual for offenders to confess to victims that they weren't responsible for. But with Samuel Little, the very disturbing thing, they confirmed 60 of his victims that he confessed to. Confirmed 60. Very, very scary. Based on his confession, Samuel Little would be responsible for more than a quarter of all serial offenses in the state of Louisiana. So, like I said, he is basically responsible for, well, it says a quarter, for most of the serial offender victims in the state of Louisiana. Almost all of his victims were female drug addicts or sex workers whom he believed would leave the least evidence behind for law enforcement to follow. That just, every time I read that, and I know it's true, well, in the minds of these serial offenders, it's true. They prey upon people, homeless, people with drug issues, sex workers, because they think nobody's going to miss them. They don't have families that care about them. They don't have friends that care about them. And that is just not true. And it's just so sad. He did pass away in prison at age 80 while serving 4 life sentences without the possibility of parole. Other infamous serial offenders from Louisiana include Henry Lee Lucas. I've definitely heard of him. I think he may have some Arkansas ties. The deadly drifter, Ronald Joseph Dominique, and the Bayou K, I can't say the killer, and Danny Rowling, who, of course, is the Gainesville Ripper. So, I didn't realize until I read this article that there were so many serial offenders and victims in Louisiana, especially, mostly, like I said, mostly due to Samuel Little. Right, Row has some Washington, where I was raised. There's lots. California, New York, Mississippi, North Carolina, Louisiana, Nevada, Texas. My guess, Arkansas. That's some good guesses. Good guesses. Anybody else out there? There's 3 people here. At least I'm not talking to myself completely. At least I don't have an imaginary audience like my disclaimer says at the beginning. But if I did have an imaginary audience, that's okay. I have discovered that since I've started doing lives, I do get a lot of replay traffic who watch my lives. So that's encouraging. All right, so that Louisiana was number 7. So we will go to number 6, which is Indiana. This one did not surprise me. Of course, who wants to take a guess on the most famous case right now from Indiana? I know you guys know what I'm talking about. So, number 6 is Indiana. Let me get down, make sure I'm on the right place. So, while you guys are thinking about this, Indiana is the home state to 6 known serial offenders who have a total victim count of 349. Says this puts it at 6th on the list of serial offenders, but only 12th on the list of victims. Herb Ballmeister, you see, I think I have him, I can't see my slides on my phone pictured here, was a prominent businessman from Indiana who lived on an 18-acre estate with his wife and 2 children. In June of 1996, the skeletal remains of 11 missing young men from the Indiana community were found on his property, leading Baumeister to take his own life before he could be charged. So once again, we have another one who took the coward's way out, in my opinion. Interestingly, while Baumeister's wife denies knowing anything related to her husband's other life, she does admit to one of their children. Now, I did do a separate video on Herb Baumeister, but she does admit that one of her children did find a skeleton in the backyard, a human skeleton. So my question, obviously, hopefully everybody's question will be, why didn't you report it? But good old Herb, had an explanation. He said it belonged to his deceased father, who was a doctor. Well, okay, that clears things up. So why would you, any rational person would ask, okay, it's your father, why did you bury him in the backyard? So I don't think that it was old Herb's father. So other notorious offenders from Indiana include Bill Gunnis, Larry Eiler, and Darren Dion Van. This is another one except for Herb that I had not. Bill Gunnis' name is familiar. Larry Eiler, Darren Dion Van, I believe, was a very young serial offender, maybe one of the youngest ever serial offenders. But yeah, so Indiana is number 6. So Michigan Waffy says, I thought Louisiana would have been higher on the list. That's interesting. That's a valid point. Why just for my interest, why would you think that they would be higher? I know there are, because living in Arkansas, Louisiana is just right below us. I know there are a lot of homicides in Louisiana, but I wasn't aware that there were that many victims that were attributed in Louisiana that were attributed to serial offenders. I thought it was just your, not to sound crass, but your just general run of the mill homicides. But Rose having trouble with the cat. Rose says, my son's 20-year-old cat is getting on my last nerve. Got real ill since September. I am breathing better. Oh, that's good. I'm sorry. I'm sorry your cat is or your son's cat is sick. Yeah, the last couple of days, yesterday and the day before, my cat was throwing up, barfing all over the place. So I don't know. We haven't changed his food or anything. We don't really give him table scraps, human food. Sometimes if we have chicken, he made a couple of little pieces of chicken, but I don't know if he just ate too much at one time or what. But anyway, I hope your son's cat gets to feeling better. So she says, are you talking about the cat again? The cat is beginning to heal. That's good. Always good to know. We have to take care of our fur babies along with our human human babies and parents and family members, because the fur babies are a part of the family. All right, so number 6 was Indiana. So we will go to number 5 is Ohio. Now this one, didn't really surprise me too much. Hold on for a minute. I'm getting notifications from the, let's see, well, as of right now, if anybody's interested, Kansas City is beating Miami 19-7, as of about 30 minutes ago. But anyway, sorry. Like I said, if you missed it, for some reason, this really irritating. And so the Chiefs game, and Chiefs is my second favorite NFL team behind the Bears. But for some reason, of course, they started anybody who watches football watches. They started the wild card playoffs in the NFL, but for some reason, they're only showing tonight the Chiefs game on streaming on Peacock, which I don't have, because I can't afford to pay for any more streaming services besides the ones that I already have, and it just irritates the fire out of me because I can't watch the game. Plus, right now on Dish, we haven't had Fox Network for forever, so I can't watch any of the ball games that they're going to show on Fox. So I'm just not having really good luck with football right now. But anyway, did I miss something? Did Junior Johnson slip in here without me knowing? Because Ray said hi, Junior Johnson. If you're here, Junior, let me know. I might have missed some comments. I don't know. I'm on StreamYard, so I'm still trying to figure But anyway, welcome to everybody who's here and who's watching replay. Michigan Wifey says, I just remember hearing about some offenders from Louisiana. Yeah. Yeah. And I think until I read this article, I didn't realize that Henry Lee Lucas was connected or from or whatever Louisiana. Speaking of Henry Lee Lucas, if you've never watched the movie Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, definitely check it out. It's a very good movie. And the actor that plays Henry Lee Lucas, he's one of my favorite actors, and his name just flew out of my head. He was on The Walking Dead. He played Merle on The Walking Dead for a few seasons. So if anybody out there in here now can think of his name, swear the older I get, my memory is going. What is his name? I can see his face as clear as day, and I should know it. Like I said, I might have to look it up or it'll drive me crazy. Anybody out there know? I'm going to have to look it up, y'all. I'm OCD when it comes to not being able to think of, I think I got two tabs going here. Let me close out one. Do a new tab. I can spell Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. Okay. Yeah, I know as soon as I see the name, let's go to Wikipedia. Should give y'all can probably come oh goodness, what am I doing? Oh, I was Michael Rooker. Michael Rooker. That's his name. Michael Rooker plays Henry Lee Lucas. Very good. Very, very good movie. Like I said, he also played Merle. And if any of you out there watching or on replay, watch The Walking Dead, the original Walking Dead, which is no longer on. Although I think they're going to bring back maybe a limited series with Rick and Michonne's characters. So if they do that, I'm very excited about that. So any other Walking Dead fans out there, let me know. Okay, back to business. Did I read Ohio? No. So we just got to Ohio. Okay. I lost my cursor. There it is. Okay. Like I said, dumpster fire. Something's going to go wrong. At least I haven't knocked anything over yet. All right. So we are on Ohio. So Ohio has the same amount of serial offenders as Illinois, which was number 7. But Ohio apparently is ranked lower due to the fact that it has a lower victim count, which is 505 total. Ohio's most notorious serial offender is Sean Great, who assaulted and took the lives of 5 young women between 2006 and 2016. In September of 2016, the police received a 911 call from a woman who whispered that she had been kidnapped and was currently only a few feet away from her sleeping kidnapper. Now, I did a video this week of stories of survival, victim survivors who escaped their kidnappers. This young lady could have been included. So as 911 tried to coach her out of the offender's home, she accidentally woke him up, and the race to find her before she could become his next victim began. When law enforcement arrived at the scene, they found trash piled up to the ceiling and, trigger warning, multiple decomposing bodies just laying around. Great was arrested and is scheduled. It says it's scheduled to get the DP in 2025. So I'll have to keep look this up and see what's going on with Sean Great. Though Jeffrey Dahmer committed the majority of his offenses in his native state of Wisconsin, and he would therefore fall under Wisconsin on the list, it is important to note that he did grow up in Ohio, and that is also where he committed his first offense, his first homicide. And I don't know if that was, I'm trying to remember, once again, I'm drawing a blank on who his first victim was. I lost my stylus. You have to go to the doctor? I'm sorry. Says my doc amazed. Oh, your doc is amazed that you're doing so well. Told her I have the greatest physician. Have to go again in March. Turn 65. Happy birthday, either late birthday or early birthday. Do not want to take tons of tests, costing tons. Yes, I hate to go to the doctor. And I'm 52. I will be 53 in May of this year. So I've, of course, started having to go to the doctor more. Always hated going to the doctor. But we do what we got to do to try to stay healthy and stay on this earth as long as possible. So I hope you're doing all right, Ro. I hope everybody's doing all right out there. Like I said, everybody with this weather, if you can, stay in, stay safe, and stay warm. All right. So we did number 5 was Ohio. Number 4 is Illinois. And I don't think this one surprised. Well, I don't know. Maybe as far as serial offenders, it might have surprised me. But unfortunately, Chicago has a very, very high homicide rate. Not necessarily due to serial offenders, but just the nature of the world today. And I'm not picking on Chicago. I've never been to Chicago. I'm a fan of the Bears, and I have flown into O'Hare before for some reason, because I was flying to Minnesota to visit one of my brothers. But for some reason, we had to go into O'Hare and change planes and then go to Minneapolis, to fly into Minneapolis, St. Paul. Don't ask me. I don't know. I hate flying too. I have to take some chill pills before I fly, so I don't fly very much. But anyway, Number 4 is Illinois. And of course, as you can see, the most famous serial offender from Illinois is Mr. John Wayne Gacy. And I will try not to go into my rant or tantrum about my fear of clowns, because whenever I see John Wayne Gacy, immediately in my mind I see him in the clown getup, and I just can't. I can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do clowns or spiders. So, from Illinois, there have been 7 known serial offenders with a total count of 680 victims. So, interestingly, it says they are the only state on this list to have the same ranking for both offenders and victims, as they are in 4th place for both. Like I said, John Wayne Gacy, commonly referred to as the K Clown, I can't say the kill word, is one of the most well-known serial offenders in U.S. history. His number of victims is disgustingly high, as he took the lives of at least 33 young men and boys. He stored most of the victims in the crawl space underneath his home in the Chicago suburbs. Terrifyingly, Gacy's side job involved playing a clown at children's birthday parties, hence the creepy nickname and the creepy clown getup. He got the DP on May 10th of 1994. Other notorious serial offenders from Illinois are the Chicago Rippers, which apparently were a satanic cult made up of Robin Gecht, Edward Spritzer, and brothers Andrew and Thomas Corcorellis, as well as the lipstick offender William Hirons. Apparently, he wrote on the walls with his victims' lipstick. I don't know if he did that in all of them or just some of them. So I haven't, aside from John Wayne Gacy, I haven't really heard much about these other offenders from Illinois. So, hey, there's Junior Johnson. How you doing, Junior? Are you frozen yet? I saw you earlier in oh, sorry, I'm moving in Ruckus's live. Are you frozen yet? You said you were in frozen Michigan. I hope you're not frozen. Apparently your fingers are at least working if you can type. Stay warm, buddy. Glad to have you here. Glad to have everybody here. I have 5 people here. Yay. Like I said, I'm honored and humbled if just one person shows up to my live. For a small channel like mine, I'm very appreciative of all the support I get. Like I said, for small channels like mine, every little thing helps. Rayo says she guessed that Indiana got 1 out of the 8. There are a few in most all states. Yeah. There, you can't tell me. I mean, just to sheer statistic wise, I'm sure there are at least 1, and probably over the years have been at least 1 or more serial offenders in every state of the United States. Excuse me. Just here in Arkansas, we've had I'm trying to think. We haven't had a lot. We had Charles Ray Vines. They called the Red or River Valley offender. He took the lives of, that they know of, two elderly women, a younger lady he kidnapped from a shopping mall parking lot. Actually, she ended up getting away, thankfully, because before he kidnapped her, he did assault her. But fortunately for the victim, apparently Charles Ray Vines had taken a bunch of substances before he kidnapped this young lady, and after he assaulted her, he passed out. And they were out once again in I believe the Ozark National Forest. that is, I'm telling you that the Ozark National Forest here in Arkansas is and of course the Ozark National Forest, the Ozarks cover a bunch of different states, but the Ozark National Forest here in Arkansas, I'm calling the one of the Bermuda Triangles of a true crime, because lots of weird stuff happens there. Lots of people go missing there, or and then lots of remains of people are found there. I have my theories on that, so if anybody wants to hear my theories, just let me know. Ooh, Junior says it's going to be 4 degrees tonight. That is cold. I would say that's why I live in the South, but they said tomorrow. I don't know if you were here earlier when I was talking about down here in Arkansas. Supposedly we could get 3 to 6 inches of snow, and the wind chill is going to be 15 below. So, like I said, down here in Arkansas, that's considered a end of the world apocalypse conditions. So, but yeah, it's gonna be cold. I'm just gonna hunker down and stay in the house. All right, I lost track. I got off track again. As Carolyn from Unearthed Secrets would say, I went outside the perimeter now. I'm not sticking inside the perimeter to what we're talking about. That's okay. We can talk about, this is just a loose, informal thing. We can talk about whatever, anything you guys have on your mind. Okay, so we're on number 4. So now we got the top 3. Number 3 is Texas. Does that surprise anybody? That one surprised me a little bit. Although it is a very big state, highly populated state, so I don't, I guess it shouldn't have surprised me, but if it surprises any of you out there, let me know. All right, so Texas accounts for 8 known serial offenders with 948 victims. That's almost 1,000 victims. Putting them in second place for number of victims, although that is, I gotta word this. It's that second place for number of victims, although that is well below the number of victims from the number 2 spot. Anyway, one of Texas's most awful serial offenders is Janine Jones. Trigger warning, this involves children, aka the Angel of Death, who in the early 80s took the lives of between 11 and 46 innocent children while working as a pediatric nurse. A truly evil individual, Janine would inject the children, once again, trigger warning, some as young as 1 month old, with lethal doses of drugs that would induce fatal paralysis or heart failure. She was sentenced to life in prison, and she will not be eligible for parole until she is 87 years old. So this was back in the 80s, so I have to look her up, but she may not even be alive anymore. I'll have to look up and see what's going on with Janine Jones. Other notable serial offenders from Texas include Angel Maturino Resendez, nicknamed the Railroad Offender, Dean Coral, the Candyman. I think I have maybe done a video about Dean Coral, or he was in a compilation video I did. And I had not heard of Kenneth McDuff, who was apparently called the Broomstick Offender, because I can't say the K word. So if anybody has heard of Kenneth McDuff, the Broomstick Offender, let me know. Rose says that she's got 2 right so far. Good job. Oh, y'all are smart. Y'all are very smart. I have faith in y'all. All right, so we are up to number 2. Anybody have a guess on what state number 2 might be? I'll give you a second. Oh, we got 6 people in here now. Welcome to anybody who's here. Say hi if you want to. If not, you can just lurk. That's fine. Hello to everybody who's watching replay. Everybody be sure, please hit the thumbs up button while you're here, or if you watch the replay. That helps out tremendously. Liking, commenting, sharing. Y'all know the drill. All right. So, any guesses on number 2? Ooh, my feet are cold. I should have put my socks on before I got my warm house shoes on, but I forgot to put I might have to dig out my warm fuzzy socks to wear, especially tomorrow when it starts snowing. All right. Number 2 is California. Anybody surprised about that? I wasn't surprised. So California is in second place for the number of known serial offenders, but it is in first place by almost double for the number of victims. So it's second place for the number of offenders, but it is first place for, let me make sure I'm reading it right. For the number, it would be in first place if it was going by just number of victims. So they have, California has 15 known serial offenders who took the lives of over 1,700, almost 1,800 victims. So that is a lot of victims. But once again, California is a big state, heavily populated. So, and it has some of the most famous serial offenders. Of course, we have. It says California is home to several of the most notorious serial offenders of all time, which accounts for the exceedingly high victim count. You have y'all might have heard of the Zodiac killer. I'll just go ahead and say it. They can flag me if they want to. Whose work has been described as the most famous unsolved case in American history. People go down. This is another one. People go down the rabbit hole on the Zodiac killer. Never officially been identified. Everybody and their mama has their opinion on who the Zodiac offender is, but and that's one of I would love to know who the Zodiac offender is. There, some of these more famous cases, I have some that I really, 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 really would love to know um, who they are, and the Zodiac offender is one of them. Zodiac offender, Jack the Ripper, the JonBenet Ramsey case, that one drives me crazy. Of course, here from Arkansas, Morgan Nick. Yeah. So the Zodiac killer's work has been described as, I'm repeating myself. He terrorized Southern California between 1968 and 1969. In taunting letters to the police, he claimed to have taken the lives of 37 men and women. Of the 37, only 7 were confirmed, 5 deceased and 2 survivors. And the case remains open to this day. Which, if you weren't here earlier, we were talking about the Louisiana Samuel Little, he confessed to 93, and they actually confirmed 60 of his confessions. So that just very, very scary, horrifying, and it just blew my mind that they were able, out of the 93 that Samuel Little confessed to, they were able to actually confirm 60 of them. But back to California. Other notorious offenders from California include Kenneth Bianchi, the Hillside Strangler, and Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker. So yeah, California was kind of a given for me. Junior's guessing New Jersey. That's a good guess. Anybody else got so we're down to number one. Fix to get to number one. Anybody out there have any guesses on what number one is going to be? Let me get down to the right. So Junior has guessed New Jersey. Ray, do you have a guess? Or Michigan Wifey, if you're still here? Michigan Wifey might have fallen asleep. She said she was up past her bedtime. Yeah, I scheduled this one kind of later because I wasn't sure. Because Mr. Steve from True Crime Web usually does a live on Saturday nights, and I didn't want to interfere with his. But apparently, he is on the road. I know he had been up in Georgia, but in his last live, he was going to go back down to Florida to be with his family because they're in the process. He and Mrs. Steve are in the process of moving from Georgia down to Florida to be closer to their daughter and two grandbabies, double alt and triple alt. But anyway, if I would have known, I probably would have scheduled this at 8. But anyway, that's why it's called True Crime After Dark. Okay, no more guesses on what's going to be number one. So number one is New York. You were close, Junior, with New Jersey. They're right there together. So New York, coming in at number one, we have New York. And it says, as of 2023, New York has been home to 18 known, and I say known serial offenders because there's always the very good chance that there are serial offenders at any given time operating that are not known about. So New York has been home to 18 known serial offenders with a total number of 677 victims. So that's why they were saying California was number 2 as far as number of offenders, but they were actually number 1 in number of victims because they had, what did I say, almost 1,800 victim count in California. But one is too many. So of course, the most famous serial offender from New York, David Berkowitz, son of Sam. In New York's most famous serial offender from 1976 to 1977. 1977, Berkowitz took the lives of 6 people and wounded 11. He earned the moniker Son of Sam after the police received. Sorry. I keep hitting stuff on my computer. He earned the moniker Son of Sam after the police received a letter in which he referred to himself by that name, which is actually a reference to his next door neighbor. Berkowitz believed, so if you didn't know it, but anybody interested in true crime knows the story. Apparently, David Berkowitz believed that his neighbor's dog was possessed and that his neighbor's dog was telling him to go out and take people's lives. So he's blaming it on a possessed dog. He was sentenced to life in prison on May 18th of 1978. Other notable serial offenders from New York include Richard Angelo, Paul Bateson, and Joseph G. Christopher, who apparently was nicknamed the Midtown Slasher. These other 3 I have not heard of. Richard Angelo sounds familiar, but I think maybe just because it sounds like somebody. Richard Angelo sounds like somebody who would be in the mafia. And when I think of New York and New Jersey, I always think mafia because I'm interested in the American mafia too, besides true crime and all the other weird stuff I'm into or interested in. I, of course, don't condone any of it, but always been interested in the American mafia. I've probably watched every mafia movie that's ever been made. Goodfellas is one of top 3 favorite movies of all time. I probably watched every mafia TV series that's ever been on. So the Sopranos. You can't beat the Sopranos. I'm trying to think. There was one back in the 80s. I can't remember what it was called, but it was it was very good too. Once again, the name of it escapes me. Let's give Ro a hand. She says she got 4 out of 8, half right. Very good, Ro. And Ro says, see you on the next upload. Blessings to all. Thank you, Ro, for coming. It was good having you here. Always good having everybody here. So is anybody that's still here wants to call me and surprised about any of these states that were on the list? So if anybody came in late, I'm not going to go through the slides because I'll get everything messed up. But get my computer to go. Of course, it's not going to go now. I guess I could go backwards. So number 1 was New York. Oh no, I'll have to go now. I have to go through all of them. Why is my computer not? I have a crappy. I used my mobile hotspot for my Oh, here it is. Okay. So Pennsylvania was number 8. Louisiana was number 7. Indiana was number 6. Come on. Oh my goodness. Let me refresh the page and see if it'll help. Oh, I just completely shut down everything. What did I do? I don't know. I think I just completely oh yes. Oh, Junior Johnson says I'm a big mafia buff myself. Yes, I love anything to do with the American Mafia. Like I said, I've watched, aside from reading books and studying up on the actual real mafia, I've watched every mafia movie ever made, every mafia TV series, documentary ever made. Yes, Ro, Goodfellas. Mm-hmm. The late Ray Liotta. Yep. Goodfellas is one of my favorites. Lots of good in there. You got Ray Liotta. You have once again, every name is a Ray Liotta. You have a Jesus, Mary and Joseph. And now I can't get my computer to do anything. Yeah, Goodfellas is very, very good. Goodfellas is probably my favorite mafia movie. And The Sopranos is definitely my favorite mafia TV show. Junior says, I watch the replay. That's perfectly fine. Watching replay is good too. Like I said, the more lives that I do, I get more. I've been getting a lot of more replay traffic. All right. Well, since my computer has decided to freeze up on me. Anyway, that was our list. I don't know if I had any more slides. I think I'm going the wrong way. Oh my goodness, what am I doing? Oh yeah, you can't forget The Godfather. The Godfather and Goodfellas. The first Godfather, you can't beat it. I love The Godfather 2 because it had both Al Pacino and why cannot not think of his name? Because he's in Goodfellas too. Pacino and come on, somebody tell me. Oh my God. One of my favorite actors in the whole wide world. Holy shnikes. I want to cuss so bad right now. And I can't even look up on my computer because my computer is doing, my computer is screwed up. I can see him as plain as day. Very famous actor, one of my favorites, and his name will not come into my head. Shame on me. Anyway, he was in The Godfather 2. It's the first time that he and Al Pacino had ever been in a movie. No, not Marlon Brando, but yeah, in The Godfather 2, he played the young Marlon Brando character. Oh my God. I just want to slap myself in the face right now because I can't think of. And in Heat was the first time that Al Pacino and this actor and that I can't think of was ever on screen together, because they're two of my favorite freaking actors, and I cannot think of Jesus. I can't think of his name. I hate that. And like I said, now my computer is froze up and I can't even look it up. If I quit thinking about it, it'll pop into my head. He was in Meet the Fockers. He's in, of course, Goodfellas. He was in The Godfather 2. To me, The Godfather and The Godfather 2 are the only good. The three was, it got too, I don't know. I can watch it, but I'll stick with 1 and 2. I wish my computer would. I don't know what my computer's doing, but it's got the blue circle of death going on my cursor. Robert De Niro. Oh, geez. Robert De Niro. That's the name I can't think of. How can I not think of Robert De Niro? But yeah, Robert De Niro played the young Vito, if I remember correctly. I think I'm right. The young Vito Corleone in The Godfather 2. So that was the first time that Al Pacino, and if I'm getting my facts right, the first movie that Al Pacino and Robert De Niro were in the same movie, but they never appeared on screen together. And Heat was the first time that Pacino and De Niro were on screen together. Heat, also a very good movie. All right. Anybody, you have any other questions or want to talk about anything else? Like I said, it's open forum. Anything that's going on in the news. We talked about the Amber Crumb. If anybody who wasn't here earlier, Ruckus Rocks did not really an interview, but he had a Larry Crumb, which is Amber's dad, on giving some updates. Of course, anybody who watches True Crime Web knows that Mr. Steve, Chris from the Mob Crew, Carolyn from Unearthed Secrets, and Christina, her sister, and whoever else they have working with them behind the scenes have worked extensively on the Amber Crumb case. And they're going to do CBS is going to do, I think they said a 4-part documentary on Amber's case. Don't know if it's going to be nationally televised, definitely local. But anything that can bring more awareness. I'll see if I can find Amber's. I'd rather find Amber's slide. There it is. There's the little Amber. She was only 2 years old. I believe it's 40 years that she has been missing and presumed most likely deceased. And I think they pretty much know what happened to her. It's just proving it is the thing. And then the most important thing is finding her remains. Thank you, Junior. Junior says he's heading to bed. Good night, everyone. Thank you, Junior, for being here. I appreciate it. Sleep well. Stay warm. Everybody stay warm out there. It's cold everywhere, apparently, even down here in Arkansas. So thank you to everybody who was here. Junior, Ryu, Michigan Wifey. See who else. Anybody else sneaking? Anybody who was here that was lurking. Thanks for being here. All right, guys. If we don't have anything else, sorry, I'm trying to multitask. If we don't have anything else, I will get out of here for the night because it is it's 10:15 Central Time here in the States, so it's later than I thought it was. Thank you, everybody who was here and participated. Thank you to anybody watching replay. Be sure to give it a thumbs up before you leave, like, share, comment. I'll be back, have my missing person Monday episode video up. Hopefully, I'll be able to get it done Monday and get it put up. And then we'll see what else is gonna next week. I promise. I don't know if Junior's already left. I'm gonna do the my case of the week is gonna be the D Warner case. I'll try to do a live for it. So Junior and anybody else who wants to be here can be here. Anyway, until next time. Thank you guys for being here. Take care. Be careful out there. Stay warm. Take care of each other. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.